Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Some Friends, and today I have again my daughter-in-law April, and she is making some of her freezer meals for her busy schedule, and this one happens to be beef enchiladas. And what we've done so far is we took 2 pounds of hamburger and a 1/4 cup of diced onion, and we browned that up. And once that warms up again a little bit, she's going to add some cheese and some sour cream. She'll tell you how much when the time comes. And then some spices and some enchilada sauce and all that. And then we'll assemble once everything's in it.
Yes. So I'm adding a cup of cheddar cheese. As long as the lights stay on, because they're flickering.
A cup and a 1/4, right?
No, it says 1
What's
cup.
flickering?
1 cup. Oh. It says 1, okay.
1 1/4. What's flickering?
Oh, the light kind of.
Oh, did it? Well, we have storm warnings here tonight, so if the lights are flickering, we may be in the middle of a storm. Okay, so she's going to stir that in, and a 1/2 cup of sour cream that we already measured. Will that spoon fit in there?
I don't know. We're gonna give it a whirl.
Did better than I probably would have done.
I don't know. Looks pretty good to me.
Cool. Okay. I can turn that up a little if you want me to, so that cheese starts to melt. Okay.
I know. I looked for a second. I thought, I think I'm just moving the hamburger in a skillet without the heat
Just so it all gets coated. Okay.
And then
Her spices, she's going to put in
all kinds of stuff.
Yes, a tablespoon of dried parsley.
Got it right here.
If you want to use the 1/2 tablespoon or the teaspoon and do 3 of them, will it fit down in there? Because there are 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon, so
See,
it'll make your life a little easier.
Yeah, that way I'm not trying to.
Yes.
Three of those.
And a tablespoon of taco seasoning. And I buy my taco seasoning in bulk, so one of those is taco and one is...
And see, I swear...
That's taco.
Taco. I swear Lee bought one of these. My husband bought one of these. And I have looked and looked and looked, and I can't find it.
Can't find it? A tablespoon.
Tablespoon.
Big one. You can take the whole lid off if it's easier for you.
That might be easier. Or he hid it from me because sometimes he does that whenever he buys spices and things that way.
They don't get all used up
They don't
before he
get
has
all
a
used
chance.
up before he has a chance to use them.
I've done that with candy bars before with the kids. I hide them so I actually get one, but I don't know that I've ever done it with my spices.
Well, Eden and I have just started hiding things because Luke gets into them.
Aha.
Or labeling them.
Mine.
Do not eat. Luke, that means you.
A teaspoon of dried oregano. That lid broke on me. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I did.
Ooh. Almost double that. Might have been interesting.
Salt and pepper to taste.
Very lightly.
And see, when I do pepper and salt, I like both of them a lot.
I do. I'm just scared of these salt and pepper shakers. I'm afraid it's all going to come out. Like an evil trick, you know how you loosen the lid and...
Yep. There, that cheese is starting to melt in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Then she's going to add in, what was it, 2.5 cups?
2.5 cups
of enchilada sauce.
Enchilada.
Now you can use mild or hot, but I don't usually buy hot because I have too many people in our family that don't like real spicy. Yeah. So.
I don't like anything spicy. That's usually one of my first questions. Is it spicy? Yes?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'll pass. Which, to each their own.
I know. We made stir fry the other, well, it's been a while back. And there's a chili sauce that Ron and I really, really like, hot chili sauce. And Jake and Katie were over, and it was like for a Sunday lunch. And Katie's made the stir fry before with the sauce, but she was sitting at the countertop watching me, and I used the whole jar like I usually do. And she went, "Oh my gosh." And her eyes got great big, and I said, "What?" And she said, "When I make it, I do like a baby spoon full of the sauce because that's all I can handle." But we like our spicy food to almost make you sweat. Okay. Then she will add in,
I don't know where I'm at now.
your chili powder. And that would be 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder.
I'm glad you said that because I looked at 2.5 cups and I was like,
Oh, that would be bad.
Mm.
I had a culinary student once who said, "Mrs. Allen, you need to taste."
1.5?
Yes, 1.5 teaspoons. You need to taste my cornbread. There's something I did wrong. And I just took a little bite of it, and oh my goodness, it was like eating off a salt lick. And I said, "What did you do?" And she said, "I followed the recipe." And I said, "How much salt did you put in?" She said, "A cup, like it calls for." And I said, "It calls for a teaspoon, not a cup." And she went, "Oh, I misread it." And I just wondered, in what world, in what recipe would you put a cup of salt? Unless you're cooking for like 5,000 people maybe, but.
Yeah, that would be a lot.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I look, maybe she got mixed up.
Maybe, but no, she told me she put a cup like it called for. So, okay, we're also going to put in a clove of garlic, and if you use the bottled garlic, it's whichever way you like it. It calls for like a teaspoon of it, but you like garlic, so if you want to put a little more, you can put a little more than that.
Dive it in.
Now we're going to bring this up to a boil, and once it boils, we're going to drop the heat down just a little bit and let it simmer for about 5 minutes, and then we'll be back to show you how we're going to assemble our beef enchiladas.
It's looking yummy. Smelling really good too. I wish videos you could smell.
I know,
video.
it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Mm.
That sounded like thunder, didn't it? It was that chair scooting. Okay, so we're back, and her sauce that goes in her beef enchiladas is looking good. So she's going to show you how she's going to assemble those, and she'll take a large tortilla, and she's going to put it on her cookie sheet just to make it a little less messy for herself. And then she's going to take roughly a 1/4 cup of the mixture and put it in the center. She's going to drain off some of that extra liquid.
Because I have a feeling whenever I go to roll it.
Right. And you can put more if you want to down the center. And we've already sprayed our dish, our foil pan. Again, April's making these so that she can have an easy evening supper by taking them out of the freezer and the night before, putting it in the fridge. And then that night when she gets home, she can just pop it in the oven. Or if you're like me, that morning you could set your delayed bake and...
She thinks we have a delayed bake.
Well, I got new ovens. Did you notice that?
I
You
did.
saw it on Facebook, didn't you?
No, I did notice them. I did see it on Facebook, but I did notice them when I came
Yeah.
in.
Well, I had to. My bottom oven, or my top oven went out.
So we do not have a delayed oven. So this will be a set it out the night before in the refrigerator, and then when we get home, pop it in the oven.
Right. And when you're getting ready to put it in the oven, you're going to want to set that at 350 and then bake it for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. If it's still cold on the center, you may have to add a little bit of time to it, and then let it rest for about 5 minutes, and you're ready to go.
I think I rolled the first one really weird, and that's why it kind of fell apart on me.
Now this recipe says it'll make 8 to 10, but you can just go till your pan is full and then dump the extra sauce over the top. And we drained our hamburger, but it depends on the leanness of your burger, what you come up with. So that's why she's using the slotted spoon to kind of get some of that extra juice so it's not quite so runny.
Nobody likes a runny enchilada.
I know. Okay, so now the question, do you like beef enchiladas better or do you like chicken enchiladas better?
I personally like the beef ones better. Stay.
Well, we're gonna make some chicken ones and we'll see.
But whenever I go to eat them, when we have them over here at lunch on Sundays or whenever, I usually pull a cut one in half.
And eat one of each?
Eat half of a beef one and half of a chicken one. It's not very often that I don't sample everything.
Well, how do you know if you want it until you try it?
Yeah. Well, I usually want both. That's never really it's never really a question.
So you're coaching track?
I am. I'm helping with junior high track. We have 28 kids out.
Oh my, that's good for.
So we just had our first meet yesterday, and it went really well.
And the weather was chilly and windy, but it wasn't raining.
No, the weather was good.
Yes.
A lot of the kids did very well. Some were really excited about their events and ready to go again in a couple of days. Some were begging not to be in an event.
Would that be the 400? Our granddaughter, April's daughter, runs track, and she's a thrower, but she also got to run the 400 yesterday, and I'm thinking she's not wanting that to be on her agenda normally.
No.
But sometimes you just do what the team needs.
Yes, which will happen on Thursday.
Oh, is she running the...
We haven't had a conversation as I'm standing here and she's staring at me off of the screen. She's gonna involve herself in something else. It's her choice, but she's got to pick another running event to do. So we need to fill some slots.
I don't know whether, because really... Do you choose? The 400 is a killer race because it used to not be a sprint, but it's a sprint.
It's a dead sprint all the way around.
If you're going to do well, it has to be a sprint. And most people, that's just not a good race for a lot of people. Where an 800 to a 1600, it's grueling, but it's not a sprint.
And Eden has ran a few 5Ks before, so she knows what it's like to go 3 miles.
So maybe the 2 mile.
No, they don't do 2 mile in junior high.
Oh, they don't in junior high.
No,
Okay.
or the javelin.
I'm thinking hurdles aren't in her future. Is that
how
full?
short my legs
Or you
are?
want one more?
I think I need one more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do what?
Did you see how short my legs are? Her fault.
Yeah.
Whose fault?
Yours.
But for being the first track meet, though, Eden ended up placing in the discus.
Which is really super good because in small school districts in Missouri now, 6th grade gets to compete with junior high. And so that's up to the individual schools. But so she's just a 6th grader. So if she's already showing some promise in that, I think I'm going to have you drain that. I'll put this under it. Run that through that colander and let it get some of that extra grease out of it. And then we'll dump that over the top, sprinkle it with cheese, cover it with foil, and then April will have beef enchiladas in the freezer for later. Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.